Now it's time for How To, brought to you by Outdoor Edge and their complete line of razor-safe, replaceable blade knives. So I'm going to show you how to take the bone out of the hooves and what you have to do. So here's an antelope foot from one of the antelope that my client harvested with me this morning. So on the antelope hoof, the only difference that I've done is a lot of times I'll just skin this leg out and I'll tube it. I cut it down the middle here so I can kind of show you what I'm doing. Here is one side of the hoof. That's what it looks like. Here, I went and cut the frog out, cut along the side of the hoof, and I pulled the bone out right here. Now, if you're getting an animal that's ready to go out and you've got to be in the field for a while and you need to salt or dry that skin so you can get it to a taxidermist, but you don't have access to a freezer, here's what you can do. Here's the other hoof, and I'll show you how we got it to this point. What you want to do is you can actually cut the frog out. The frog is this soft part right here in the middle. So what you want to do is you want to come to the back of the hoof, and I'm going to cut right through the soft part of this hoof. I'll show you can you see what I'm doing there, Tim? Yep. All right. And then I'm going to cut. You want to be careful, but you want to cut right along this frog and this center part. And I'm going to cut it all the way to the tip. Being very careful not to cut all the way through or to cut my finger off. Then I'm going to take it around this side and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to turn it to where we can see here. And then I'm going to cut it on this side all the way around. And you can see I'm cutting through the soft part of this. Can you see that, Tim? Okay. And I'm going to cut right along the bone all the way down to the center here. Okay, so now we've got that. Then you're just going to start skinning down like you would anything else. So I'm going to open that up. Now you can sometimes boil it to make it a little softer, but if it's fresh, as this one is, see how I'm peeling that out? You can keep cutting right along. Careful not to cut that hair. You can see how the hair goes all the way to the base of the hoof here. You don't want to cut that. And the only reason I'm doing this on this antelope is literally I've had some questions about this, and I've shown this to other people in the field, and it's a great way to preserve an animal if you want to get it mounted at some point, but you don't have access to refrigeration. So again, here on the same side, I'm working that frog down. Now, once you have the soft start, the underside of the hoof here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that and I'm going to cut that down, because you can actually cut that right out. Almost got that out. And there it is right there. That's the inside of the hoof. Now I'm working this bone and I'm going to force it a little bit open here so I can get in here. And then I'm going to come at it from here. I'm trying to make that to where you can see, Tim. Then I'm going to work it here on this side, and you'll see I'm cutting right along the edge here. Again, I've got a sharp knife. I'm trying to be careful not to cut myself. I'm going to fold that back. I can see where it's still hanging on. Let me turn that right there. Can you see that, Tim? All right. And I'm just going to keep working right along here to free that bone up. And here in a second, we'll have that out. Almost there. There we go. Do you hear the pop? That pop means that bone just came free right there. And now I'm going to cut it right here. There we go. Careful not to cut that skin in between the toes. That's the skin between the toes that I mean right here. And now what I've done is I've skinned out and taken the bone out of the hoof of this antelope. So for your outdoor edge tip, that's a really neat thing to do if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you want to get a moose or a deer or a Rocky Mountain goat or a sheep or anything else out, and you don't want to lose all the hair and you want to take care of it. You can take that all the way down, take the bone out of the hooves, of course keep it, turn the ears, turn the lips, which I've shown before. And then if you have access to salt or sand, super light sand, you can put it on that hide, dry it out, fold it up, and you'll be able to get it to the taxidermist weeks later, and you're not gonna lose anything. So there's your Outdoor Edge tip of the week. Again, that's how to take the bone out of the hooves of an animal.